Hello everyone, this is your stimulus update for Saturday, June 13th. In today's update, I'm going to be talking about the first stimulus payment of $1,200, and for those of you that haven't received it, and I'm also going to be going over the second stimulus payment, when it might happen, and who might receive that one. If this is your first time to my channel, thank you so much for watching. My name is Justin, and I do daily stimulus check updates. So if you're interested in hearing daily stimulus updates, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you will be notified each and every time I upload a new video. And if you would, I would appreciate it if you click the like button so that YouTube will share this video with others. So for those of you on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, retirement, survivors, VA benefits, or railroad retirement benefits, and anyone else that still hasn't received their stimulus payment, including expats, I want to go over some payment dates that I've been receiving from people in my comments section, as well as some good news that I've heard from others. For those of you that are waiting to hear about the second stimulus update, that will be later in the video. Here is just a sample of the comments I've been receiving recently. Just Me says, I just wanted to give some hope to those that haven't received their stimulus payment. I'm an SSDI recipient, expat, for over 13 years, and I have not filed taxes. I used the non-filer tool on May 28th and received a status update that the payment will be made on June 17th. Hang in there, guys. It will come. Just be patient. Thanks, Justin, for your videos. Thank you for your comment and for that update, especially for expats. A lot of expats are waiting for their payment and have had no information whatsoever regarding whether they're going to get a payment or not and when it might be coming. So that's great to hear that you actually received a payment update and a payment date. I'm really hoping that a lot of other expats start getting some information as well. So I received another comment and it says, I went to get my payment and saw June 16th date. Thank you so much for that update. It's great to see people getting their payment dates. I know a lot of you are thinking, am I ever going to receive a payment? And of course, as long as you're eligible, you will eventually receive a payment. The payment dates are coming, payments are coming. Another comment I received was from Teresa, and she says, thank you so much for your advice. I sent address change, and today I checked and I have a date for check to be mailed on June 19th. Because of your guidance, I'm finally getting my payment. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for your comment, Teresa. So Teresa was in a situation where she doesn't file taxes and she started receiving her government benefits after the start of the year 2020. So I instructed Teresa to use the non-filers tool, and she did so and now has a payment date. So thank you, Teresa, and congratulations on getting a payment date finally. Another comment came from Alice Miller, and it says, hello, my name is Alice. I receive SSI and I checked the web portal, and that told me my first stimulus check will be mailed out on June 15th. Thank you for that update, Alice, and I'm so happy for you that you're going to get your payment mailed to you. Remember, if you get a payment date that's a payment that's going to be mailed to you, it can take up to 2 weeks after that date for the payment to arrive. But Alice, that's so good that you got a payment date. Kendra Morgan is another commenter I received, and she says, I'm on SSI and still no date. I check the Get My Payment tool every day, and the non-filers tool, it just tells me we can't determine your payment at this time. We don't have enough information. We are working on this, or you're not eligible. So I did call the IRS today to see what was going on with my information. I have double checked several times to make sure everything is right. Looks all right to me. So the lady from the IRS told me I am eligible for the payment. They just don't have a date for me quite yet. I do get my checks direct deposited, and that's the way my payment is going to come in, she said. Just hold in there and keep checking the websites to see if anything has changed. I didn't do anything wrong and everything looks good on their end. So I hope this helps the people. Hold on, the ones that have been waiting so long. So am I. Good luck, everybody. Thank you for your comment, Kendra. And I think there are a lot of people like you that are just trying to figure out what is going on with their stimulus payment and just getting some information from the IRS saying, you know what? Oh, I don't have a payment date for you yet, but it is coming, was probably a lot of help, actually. So the payments are coming. I know so many of you are so sick of hearing that, and I'm honestly kind of sick of telling you guys that. I wish you all had your payments right now. But just remember, the IRS is sending them out They're continuing to send them out. And as of a few days ago, they said that there were upwards of 35 million people that still haven't received their stimulus payment. But just like Kendra, they are working on it. They are processing it. As long as you're eligible, you should be receiving your stimulus payment. Thank you again for your comment, Kendra. So let's talk about the second stimulus check. I get a lot of questions about the second stimulus check. First off, I have a comment from Annette Williams, and she says, when is the second stimulus check coming? So Annette, thank you for your comment. And I get this question all the time. When is my second stimulus check coming? Or when is the second stimulus coming? First off, let me be very clear. At this point, there is not a second stimulus check that has passed the House, the Senate, and has been signed by President Trump. At this point, there are only proposals for the second stimulus. However, this week, the Treasury Secretary, Steve Mnuchin, talked about the potential for a second stimulus, and it was one of the most positive things we've heard come out from the Trump administration in a while regarding a second stimulus. He said that he has discussed the potential of a second stimulus with President Trump, and President Trump is open to that. And he said to reporters, it is something that we are very seriously considering. That's a lot more positive talk than there has been coming out from the Trump administration regarding a second stimulus. In addition to that, he said even though they're talking about a second stimulus, the potential for more lockdowns or shutdowns of the economy and of businesses and everything else is very slim. They said with the advances they're making in the medical field with regards to the virus, that the potential for shutdown is very slim. And that's great news for those that have already been affected by their job or whatever else because of the shutdowns from the coronavirus. Okay, so the timeline for the second stimulus proposal and packages, if there is going to be one. First off, the Senate has said that they aren't even going to start talking about or discussing a second stimulus package until July. The Senate goes on recess for 2 weeks at the start of July, right around the 4th of July. And they wouldn't be discussing the second stimulus proposals and packages until after that recess. So later in July, they're going to start discussing the potential for another stimulus payment. Those payments could be for businesses, they could be for other reasons as well, and in addition, they could be payments directly to individuals. And I think that's the one that most of you are wondering about. Based on the comments from the Treasury Secretary this week, it does sound like there's a good chance that there will be a second stimulus payment to individuals. And for sure, a much better likelihood than I previously thought there would be. So President Trump knows that there are millions of people that still need help. That first $1,200, for those of you that have actually received it, still probably didn't go very far. The average American family spends more than $1,200 per month just for rent. That doesn't include food or utilities or anything else they need to live on. So $1,200 does not go very far. So another one of the questions about the second stimulus payment is who's going to be eligible for a second stimulus payment? And I can only go off of what has already been proposed. And based on what has been proposed, it actually would probably be more far-reaching than the original $1,200 from the CARES Act. Most of the proposals, including the HEROES Act that passed in the House, have included provisions for those that were claimed as dependents to actually receive stimulus payments. The HEROES Act promised $1,200 for individuals, for couples it would be $2,400, and in addition, $1,200 for each dependent child. The HEROES Act, however, passed the House, but stalled in the Senate and hasn't been deliberated in the Senate yet. But the fact that most of the proposals are including people that have been claimed as dependents means that there's a good chance that the next round of stimulus would be more far-reaching than the first round. And the other question I think a lot of people have is, are they going to be able to send out the second stimulus faster than the first stimulus? And one of the things I believe is that they're sending out those EIP debit cards so that if there is a second stimulus payment, that those debit cards would be used to pay out the second stimulus payment as well. So if for some reason you're receiving an EIP debit card in the mail instead of a paper check, then for the second stimulus, if there is one, they could just put the money onto that EIP debit card and it would be much quicker than the way this first $1,200 stimulus payment has happened. So as far as timeline goes, I talked a little bit about it, but the Senate has said that they're not even going to start deliberating the chance of a second stimulus payment until midway through July or later July. So the chance of a stimulus payment before July is pretty slim, and most likely it will be sometime in August. And once again, that's if there is a second stimulus payment. At this point, those are still all proposals, and they are still just being discussed in the House, in the Senate, and none of them have been signed by President Trump at this point. Thank you once again so much for watching. I hope this information is helpful, and to those of you that are getting your stimulus payment dates, congratulations, I'm so happy for you. And for those of you that are still waiting, I'm sorry, and I'm hoping that you're going to get a payment date soon, but just know they are coming. The IRS is sending them out very slowly, but they are sending them out. Thank you once again so much for watching, and I will talk to you again soon.